We did 2 times 2 days. 2 days Amsterdam, 2 days Cologne. One day was overlapping. I did 3 presentations, so every day I did a presentation. I did 1 panel discussion with the head of innovation of ING Bank and MasterCard. And without complimenting myself, I killed it over there. I think I did a very good show there. Yes, without bragging, I know. No, but it was just a lot of fun. There was like about 175 seats in the space, 200 maybe. And around the booth, there was a lot of room to stand and watch the presentations. There were headphones everywhere, so everybody could listen in to the presentation very well. So everybody was basically using them. And the first day, there were not so many people when I came off stage. The second day, there was like a lot of familiar faces in the audience that I thought, you were here as well yesterday. I warned them that I would give the same talk again, but seeing so many the same faces, I also changed a little bit of the content in Amsterdam because, same faces don't want to hear the same story, of course. And I have enough anecdotes to tell them. So after the show, after the presentation, a lot of people came up to me. They were even queuing to talk to me. And they all wanted to know what EOS was. I think about 20% of everybody that I spoke to knew about EOS. About half, so let's say 10% of everybody that spoke that invested in it. Even people saying, I put almost all my life savings in it. And I was so convinced that this would be a game changer in the world. It was so disappointed that it never happened. I think I've heard that said to me at least a dozen times from venture capital owners to individual investors that really thought that EOS would kill it 4 years ago. So I'm very happy we have a second chance now. The people on this always, I think I said it 2 weeks ago when I was on, or 3 weeks ago, I don't remember. That is a big question on how many people will come over, how many people will attend these trade shows. And it was busy, it was full. Everybody wants to understand what Web3 is going to offer. What am I doing in this space? I'm being confirmed also with conversations with Gartner analysts. One part of the partnership we signed with ENF is that we are developing a big partnership with Gartner, a big analyst firm. I had, I think, about 12 calls with them now, with different analysts, talking about ENF and what EOS can bring to the enterprise space, and talking about their research in supply chain or banking and all of them tell me that, it's really starting. Enterprises are adopting. Yes, it's crypto winter, but the enterprises are looking into blockchain, Web3, much more serious than they were before. They were interested before, but they didn't understand it. Now they start to understand it. They start to do projects. There was one of the analysts told me that she had a call today with an airline that wanted to bridge between metaverses. And because they are an airline, they wanted to implement the bridging function. They are an airline. They bridge from metaverse to metaverse. Found that funny, interesting concept. If you want to travel from metaverse to metaverse, you need an airline, right? Yeah, let me bring you to somewhere else. And what's my place in this new world? And what's the place of an airline between those metaverses? So interesting conversations. We had about 400 leads in total on both trade shows, a little more, I think. And it was very diverse. From countries that want to offer full transparency of government financing. The city of New York, same story. They called Consensus, they called other companies, and they didn't return their calls. So they were in Amsterdam talking about what the city of New York could do on the blockchain. And we had the regular enterprises that were questioning my business model. What does my business model can do with Web3 and blockchain hashing and transparency? And there's government's regulations that require us to be public about certain events in my company. There was something happened. I need to be transparent on what happened. I thought blockchain could help. Can you tell me how it works? Several Web3 projects, a lot of projects that develop on Ethereum that just want to understand. Why should I move my project from Ethereum to EOS? So all kinds of questions on those trade shows of a very wide range of, and I asked my sales on what's the percentage of this, like 400 leads? What's the percentage of seriousness? And on average, they said about 15%, which is quite normal in these sort of trade shows. So I'm very positive. It was more than I expected. The shout out to EOS Nation. They showed up in Amsterdam, not in Amsterdam, in Cologne to help us out. So your colleagues really offered some good assistance because it was pretty busy. A lot of the community came by. It was very warming. Yeah, I really enjoyed seeing. I've been in all the hackathons, so I've seen most of the people prior. But it's amazing to see everybody still sticked around, and 4 years later, everybody's still there. I think that the vision is still alive. That is absolutely the conclusion you can make.